Ladies and gentlemen, what can I tell you other than President Trump is going 8 years? It is going to be absolutely frightening and hilarious and the most cataclysmic moment for Democrats and liberals and really morally righteous individuals. They're so righteous that, they've championed thus far a very moral and good person who, before we get to Clinton replacing him within the next 13 days, because I've been saying this for the past 4 years, read my Huffington Post article, Hillary Clinton 2020 is a reality, get ready for 8 years of Trump. Now, within the H.A. Goodman prophecy, I'm joking, but get ready for 8 years of Trump. 8 years is going to happen. Clinton's going to replace Biden, but let's say they're so inept and incompetent they go with Biden. It's going to be a decisive, very decisive victory for President Trump. But you have Tara Reade allegations. More than just one woman in terms of the allegations against the former vice president. Now you have the words. See, Democrats might never win another general election because they're either losing laptops or putting classified intel on computers. They're a complete train wreck when it comes to cybersecurity. But you have the words of his son saying that he had to provide kickbacks to his father. And you have the words of his son who happens to have had or possibly still has substance abuse issues, because only a person with major issues leaves a laptop full of incriminating evidence pertaining to pay-to-play schemes. At least the Clintons had the good sense of deleting 30,000 yoga emails, which were basically these types of emails, or these types of messages, text messages, whatever. Then you have the photos, and we don't really know the extent of the photos. The man is done. Then you have the Post confirming through a business associate the former vice president of the former vice president's son. So you have 100 to 1 sentencing disparities that the former vice president was part of crafting. You pertaining to the same narcotic, actually, 100 to 1 sentencing disparities. The 100 being people of color, oftentimes the one being a person that looks like his son. Then you have, so that was the crime bill. It was part of the crime bill that he wrote. Then you have President Obama, Clinton, and Biden presiding over the destruction of Libya. Then you have the fact that that the current nominee is doing worse than Clinton did among black and Latino voters. Then you have the fact that 70% of voters turn out, 60 to 70% turn out on election day. So any early voting lead is going to be early in the evening on November 3rd, taken care of, because even within the polls that show that Trump is down, those polls, those public relations polls, when they ask, well, who are you voting for? I mean, are you going to vote on election day? Or are you going to vote by mail? It's like 60-30 Democrats voting by mail, and like over 60 something percent of Republicans who are going to vote on election day. Sometimes it's even 70%, it's like 70-30. So you have 60 to 70% of the vote on election day, and then you have 60 to 70% compared to like 30 to 40% of Democrats 60 to 70% of Republicans who plan on voting on election day, whereas only 30 to 40% of Democrats plan on voting. So you have more people voting on election day always, and you have a tremendous disparity between Republicans voting on election day and Democrats. So Trump's going to cut early voting leads in North Carolina, in Florida, and other states. There were early voting leads all throughout the Rust Belt in Michigan, Minnesota, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. He cut those leads. So he'll do the same this year. I don't know about every Rust Belt state, but he'll do quite well. And so vote early. But Clinton is going to replace Biden. I've been saying this forever. Now everyone's saying this. And it's just a matter of time. I find it very interesting also that Madam Secretary hasn't said one word in defense of her good friend Biden, whom she wrote a Medium article for when she was published in the Atlantic weeks back, right before the story where they quoted unnamed sources saying that Trump said horrible things. It's always Trump said horrible things. Trump might have worked with Russia. We have to investigate. Oh, we found nothing. Oh, but the dossier that Clinton purchased said so. They fabricate. Oh, he paid $750 in taxes. How do we know? Because the accountants at the New York Times didn't even see his tax return, so they can claim all of this. They're done, ladies and gentlemen. They are done. The only chance they have is to, have Biden deny on Thursday the actual words that were written by his son, who was making $2 million in 1 year, serving as a conduit between people who wanted to get to the vice president. And the words and the emails and the correspondence and the text messages and the data is accurate. Putin didn't go back in time and dress up like Hunter and send the laptop to the repair shop. But I don't trust the Democratic Party. At the end of the day, when people there are people who say, "Well, it's not going to happen, HA. Oh my goodness, you'll have egg on your face." It's like, well, we're going to go 8 years. So that's the most important thing. I've always said President Trump's going to go 8 years either way. And when you have endured 4 years and then 2 years prior to that of Democratic Party irrationality, the most apoplectic, seething, fuming, hysterical, the only word to use, I don't want to use this word, but the biggest imbeciles on the planet. They have every single possible advantage from social media to print, to traditional media, to Hollywood, to money. They have every possible advantage, and they've squandered every single advantage because they lie. They don't want Medicare for all. They're just deceiving progressives and the left. They don't want the Green New Deal. They're just deceiving people. They don't want to defund police. They don't want to abolish ICE. They don't want to abolish the Electoral College. They don't want to abolish the Senate. They don't want to, pack the courts. They're a bunch of liars. And then they say Trump is a liar. And then with Clinton in 2016, there was literally a New York Times article saying why Clinton has to be two-faced. So, they don't run. Ask Tara Reid the type of value system they have. Then they say, well, Trump is really bad because he said something on a hot mic. It wasn't an admission. It was a very bizarre joke. Biden is actually accused of what Trump was joking about. And actually worse, because with Trump in that joke, there was an element of consent. So it was very bizarre banter, but it wasn't what the horrific crime that Biden is accused of. Not to mention the fact that he presided over the destruction of Libya. So you have the crime bill. You have the destruction of Libya with Clinton, we saw, and President Obama. Then you have the obvious questions pertaining to his son. Now you have issues pertaining to laundering of funds. And the FBI has the laptop. Gee, I wonder why. Why does every single election the FBI has some kind of computer belonging to Democrats? Because they're so utterly corrupt and shady. Where are the computers showing Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr.? They say try to make everything morally relative. Well, where are their computers? Where are their emails? Where's their own writing saying, gee, thanks for the meeting? Or where's the writing of people who took advantage of Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr. the way they took advantage of the vice president's son, Hunter? Where are these emails? They don't exist. They don't exist. So give me your thoughts below. It's game, set, match. The only chance they have is with Clinton. And I think last second, it's going to be the same formula. Last second, you will have just like the Comey letter, but you'll have the Democratic Party letter stating, Madam Secretary is ready. Or Madam Secretary will write her own letter saying, I'm back. I don't see them going with Biden, even with 13 days, 10 days, 12 days, whatever left. But no matter what, be here on this channel. Tell your friends about H.A. Goodman and H.A. Goodman's other channel. Tell your friends to subscribe, family members, subscribe to this channel. I mean, how many people have a Ushanka with Oni masks and my wacky personality? And also, how many people have said for the past 4 years that President Trump's going 8 years? How many people have said that Clinton's going to replace Biden? I'm the only one for the past 4 years. Since February of 2017, I wrote my Huffington Post article. You get the perspective of the former biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, according to the Huffington Post, the unofficial scribe of Sanders' most hardcore voters, according to the Washington Post, who is now a very, very proud and strong and passionate Trump supporter. President Trump is a fantastic president. There's a reason that President Moon Jae-in of South Korea stated that President Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize. There's a reason that he's been nominated numerous times now because of peace deals and economic deals between Israel and the UAE and Bahrain and Serbia and Kosovo. There's a reason that President Trump, where we had record low unemployment with President Trump before states decided to tank the economy to save people's lives. Give me your thoughts below. People, this is heating up, and I don't see how they can survive this. The only chance they have is with Hillary Clinton. And I'm saying this, I'm not a fan, but it's the only chance they have. Give me your thoughts below. And still, Trump's going to go 8 years. Give me your thoughts below. Subscribe to H.A. Goodman's other channel. Thank you. Oh, and be here on this channel, 1 p.m. Pacific every day for the live stream and 9 p.m. Pacific. Thank you.